Valla, who's been tracking those developments there, joining us live for a little more. Abhishek, a quick word. Here we see Rajnath Singh, Defence Minister, arriving at the Parliament, clearly stating that China tried to alter status quo. India has given a fitting reply. India has fought back. Not one soldier has died. No critical injuries reported. China, the PLA, have gone back to their standpoint. Tell us a little more.
That's right, and this is something that we have been reporting since yesterday, that China was trying to change status quo in the area by trying to dislodge an important Indian position at about 17,000 feet. And there was a build-up to this for about 2 weeks. Sources told us when the Chinese were making advancements continuously and were trying to dislodge an Indian position. And as a result of that, there was a lot of tension. The situation had turned volatile. But on 9th December, when the Chinese came in much bigger numbers, that's when this face-off turned really ugly. There was stone pelting from the Chinese side as well, because of which there were several injuries to the Indian soldiers. What the Defence Minister said was that there have been minor injuries on both the sides, and that China tried to change status quo, but they were pushed back. Situation remains tense, even though there has been no face-off since December 9. But as far as the ground situation is concerned, the Indian Army keeping a very close watch on the Chinese activity in the Yangtse sector, especially opposite Yangtse is where the Chinese have been enhancing their military infrastructure for over a year now.
Right. Abhishek Balla, do elaborate for us a little on what Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said while mentioning that there has been no casualties, no critical injuries on the Indian side. India has fought fittingly and pushed back the PLA who attempted to alter status quo. Along that region where the clashes have happened in Arunachal, is that a constant friction point? Have Indian troops been keeping the PLA on their toes, ensuring that they don't infringe? Has this been a constant tussle?
Well, Yangtse in the Tawang sector is one of the disputed areas, Nabila, and it's been a flashpoint for many years. There have been several face-offs in this area. In fact, this is one of the positions where the Indian side is in complete control. This is perhaps the only disputed site between the Indian and Chinese sides where India is in control on ground. And this is what riles up the Chinese. Often they come and they try to change status quo. This has been happening for years, but this time that face-off turned really ugly. And it's not as if that clash happened out of the blue. There were a lot of activities, dialogue happening between the local commanders over the last 2 weeks or so, and it was boiling up. And the build-up was such that the Indian side was also pretty well prepared to face any kind of mischief, if one can say, misadventure, if one can say, from the Chinese side. They were expecting this. India has enhanced its surveillance capabilities in the Arunachal sector over the last few years. As a result of that, there's real-time intelligence. There is a big thrust on drones. There's a big thrust on the aviation of the Indian Army, which has been enhanced. And in totality, India is better prepared to catch all Chinese activities across the line of actual control. And this was, in fact, a result of better surveillance capabilities that the Indian Army was able to thwart this attempt to dislodge an Indian position in the Yangtse area of the Tawang sector.